Welcome, listeners, to Complete Aviation Solutions, Deep Dive number 117. Today, we're embarking on a journey into the incredibly dynamic world of commercial aviation. Our mission is to extract the most crucial insights from a collection of very recent reports, giving you a shortcut, really, to understanding the cutting-edge decisions airlines are making right now. We're exploring how major players are, well, ingeniously navigating an unprecedented era of disruption. Things like supply chain woes, trade complexities, fleet modernization challenges, revealing the strategic innovation at play just to keep planes in the sky.
Exactly. And these reports, they aren't just dry facts. They offer a real-time snapshot of the resilience and adaptability of a sector under immense pressure. We'll be looking at the tactical moves that could very well influence the broader market and what they tell us about the future of air travel itself.
Okay, let's unpack this with our first fascinating story. We've got a report detailing a truly intriguing strategy by a major U.S.-based airline. It seems they're literally stripping brand new aircraft while they're still in Europe. I was genuinely surprised by this when I read it. Is this, like, totally new for the industry? Or have we seen airlines do things this extreme before, maybe in other crises?
It's certainly a unique approach, particularly at this scale. And what's truly fascinating here is the multi-layered why behind it. This airline is reportedly cannibalizing engines from new Airbus aircraft to reactivate planes that are currently grounded back in the United States.
Wow. So hold on. They're taking engines off jets that haven't even flown commercially yet. What's the core takeaway here? Is this purely about keeping planes flying, or is there something bigger going on?
That's right. The primary reasons cited are, well, twofold. First, to address an acute engine shortage, which is a major headache right now. And second, crucially, to avoid aircraft import tariffs.
Ah, the tariffs, right.
Yes, the United States imposes a 10% tariff on aircraft built in Europe. So by shipping only the U.S.-made engines, mostly Pratt & Whitney in this case, they can bypass those pretty substantial duties on the whole aircraft. They just leave the airframes themselves sitting in Europe for now.
Okay.
So it's not just an operational fix, It's a strategic financial move to minimize costs in what's a very competitive environment.
That is a clever workaround for the tariffs, I have to say.
Yeah.
But does doing something so, well, radical create new risks or complexities? I mean, what about warranties or long-term maintenance? Even just public perception?
Mhm.
And how exactly does this help the planes they already have sitting on the ground?
That's an excellent question about the potential trade-offs, and you're right to ask. It's a brilliant short-term solution, definitely. But the reports we have don't really delve into those potential long-term complexities of this deconstructed delivery model. What we do know is how it helps the grounded fleet directly. Some of their older A320neo jets, already in the fleet, have critical issues with their original turbines.
Okay, so engine problems on the older ones.
Exactly. So these older planes can be fitted with the brand new engines originally meant for the new planes sitting in Europe, gets them back in the air, generating revenue.
I see.
And the airline's chief executive has been quite public about this, stated they are not planning on paying any tariffs for aircraft deliveries, period. And that ongoing talks in Washington about maybe imposing tariffs, well, that directly contributed to this decision not to bring the new planes into the U.S.
So it's a clear signal.
It suggests a very strong stance against those trade barriers, yeah.
Wow. So they're essentially playing this high-stakes game of chess, you could say.
Yeah.
With their fleet, international trade rules, it's a whole different level. That's a level of strategic maneuvering I hadn't quite grasped until now. Can you give us a sense of the scale here? How big is this operation?
Absolutely. So this airline currently has 65 aircraft inactive. That's out of a total fleet of just over 1,007 to be exact.
65 planes grounded. That's significant.
It is. And their inactive fleet is quite diverse. It's not just one type. You've got A220s, A319s, A320s, A321s, A330s, A350s, and various Boeing models too, 717s, 737s, 757s, and 67s, both narrow and wide-body jets.
Okay, so the engine and tariff issues are widespread.
It suggests they're impacting multiple segments of their operations, yeah, not just one specific model. And they also have a huge number of pending orders, 274 planes, including 78 A321eos and 67 A220s. Those will obviously be affected by these tariff decisions going forward.
Right, so these challenges seem pretty systemic, not just isolated incidents.
That's a good way to put it.
Okay, so we've seen one, frankly, remarkable strategy to tackle this tariff and engine shortage puzzle. But what happens when the challenge isn't about getting existing planes airborne, but about getting new planes delivered in the first place? Let's pivot now to a major Australian airline facing exactly that hurdle. It really highlights the complexity of modern fleet management, doesn't it?
Indeed, it does.
Yeah.
So this Australian-based airline, they recently announced plans to acquire 4 additional midlife B737-800s.
Midlife 737s. Okay.
Yeah, and this move is a direct response to persistent delays in the delivery of their new A321-200NY XLR aircraft, the extra long-range ones. It's a very practical solution, really, to an industry-wide problem right now.
So they're basically buying older jets to bridge a gap created by the new plane delays. What are the economic implications here? Are they maybe sacrificing some long-term efficiency for immediate capacity?
That's the critical question, isn't it? And probably yes, to some extent. These newly acquired B737-800s, they're expected to enter service by the end of 2025. Now, they did recently take delivery of their very first XLR in early July.
Oh, good. So some are arriving.
One is yes, and a second is expected in August 2025. But the broader delivery schedule, that's been significantly impacted.
Oh, significantly.
Well, the airline group originally ordered 40 of these A321XLR. 28 were for the main airline, 12 for its low-cost subsidiary. But back in February, they confirmed that delays from Airbus would cut the number of expected new deliveries for this year. It means pushing at least one A321XLR and one A321LR into next year.
Okay, so it ripples through their plans.
Definitely. And this move to buy the midlife 737s, it doesn't just address their immediate capacity needs, it also highlights this critical industry-wide challenge, the ongoing reliability issues in new aircraft deliveries from manufacturers.
Right, we hear about that a lot.
We do, and airlines are now forced to weigh the, long-term efficiency benefits of shiny new planes against the immediate operational stability offered by proven, maybe slightly older, aircraft types like the 737-800.
Makes sense.
It also makes you wonder, though, doesn't it? With the whole industry pushing for sustainability, how does this reliance on midlife aircraft, which are potentially less fuel efficient, how does that square with those long-term environmental goals?
It's a really important point about the trade-offs involved, a real tension there. It just shows how interconnected all these decisions are. To give our listeners some context, what does their overall fleet look like? Why are these delays so impactful for them?
Sure. So this airline's main fleet has about 130 aircraft. It's a pretty balanced mix of Airbus and Boeing models. They have a substantial core of B737-800s already, actually, plus A330s, A380s, 787s.
Okay, mix.
Yeah, and their subsidiary relies heavily on A320 and A321 variants. So this wide array really shows why disruptions to a single new type like that A321XLR, why that can have such big ripple effects across their entire network, which necessitates these kinds of strategic interim acquisitions, buying the older 737s.
Got it. So these delivery delays, they clearly impact operational strategy, but of course, every operational decision has a financial ripple effect too. And on that note, we have a quick but significant update on the financial trajectory of a major Southeast Asian airline. What's the bigger picture here? What can we learn from this little snippet?
Right. It's brief but quite telling. We have a report indicating that this airline, a major player in Southeast Asia, is nearing break-even and is also seeking a strategic investor.
Nearing break-even. That sounds positive after recent years.
It does. And this isn't just a win for them. It could be a bit of a bellwether for the wider Southeast Asian market recovery. Often this kind of turnaround is driven by a combination of things, usually a strong domestic travel rebound, plus some pretty aggressive cost management. It signals a strategic focus on getting back to sustainable growth before seeking external investment, likely for expansion plans.
So it's not just about surviving the storm, but actually positioning for future growth. Maybe even changing ownership or bringing in partners to really capitalize on that recovery. Paints a picture of some careful strategic planning.
Exactly. It highlights the very varied landscape of airline health and strategy across different regions right now. You've got some players emerging from recent challenges really poised for significant growth and ready to attract new capital.
What an interesting deep dive today. Really fascinating stuff. From those creative tactics to avoid tariffs and tackle engine shortages, to agile fleet management dealing with persistent delivery delays, and even that quick glimpse into an airline's strategic financial turnaround, it really shows just how complex and interconnected the whole aviation world is.
Absolutely. These individual decisions by airlines, when you look at them together, they really illustrate the complex ecosystem of global aviation. It's not just about moving planes and people, is it? It's about strategic innovation, navigating economic currents, adapting constantly. It truly underscores the ingenuity required just to thrive in this sector today.
It certainly gives you something to think about, doesn't it? As these inventive, sometimes quite radical approaches continue to evolve, How do you think they will ultimately shape the future of air travel for all of us?